The spirit world and spirit karma. Is there a spirit world where the departed souls reside? What happens when one dies? Materialists, atheists, and skeptics could argue that there is nothing left when we die. They believe erroneously that life is a purely biological process. For them, when the body dies, everything stops, and that is the end of the personality. For some, there is a vague uncertain something beyond the physical death. However, there are those who have no doubt that there is a life after the physical death. For them, there is a spirit world. When someone dies, it brings home the reality that one day we will all die. When you are ill, the colors of your aura go dark or dim and pull in close to your body. When death comes, the aura withdraws into the body in readiness to leave the physical body. We are not the body. One's physical body houses the spirit. The body is like a garment we put on while we are alive and we discard it when we die, just like we discard our clothes. The physical body is run by the gross life force called prana in Sanskrit. This life force permeates the physical, the astral, the mental and the spiritual subtle bodies. In humans, the life force is connected at the 7 major centers of consciousness known as chakras in Sanskrit. The 7 major chakras in the etheric correspond to the endocrine glands of the body and run upward along the spinal cord. The human body is surrounded by an aura which resembles a symmetrical egg of light. This light has 7 layers of predominant colors. The colors of the aura change continually according to one's state of emotion and thought, although one may be surrounded by a dominant color throughout one's life. The part of the body that interacts with the physical body is the etheric field. It can be perceived by the physic eye as a line of whitish/light bluish/light greenish/light along the frame of the physical body. When death draws close, the aura of a person contracts and gradually it is withdrawn into the body. When this occurs, the light around the person becomes dull or lifeless. Contrary to some Hindu yogic teachings, at the moment of death, the spirit or consciousness of the person leaves via the crown center at the top of the head regardless of whether one is spiritually advanced or not. Since the consciousnesses of human beings are trapped in this virtual reality, the ones who have dropped their physical bodies will reside in the various levels or dimensions of the astral world, which was created by evil. The astral world is a place where beings reside when they are not in the physical. The physical world is a place where the same type of beings reside and they are not in the astral. The astral world is a complex place full of subtle entrapments just like the situation here in this physical world. In one sense it is far more deceptive than the physical dimension. No one is wiser just because they are from the spirit world. So do not let those from the spirit world dictate to you. There are mischievous entities, just like in the physical world. Some will put on an air and impersonate a wise sage, a deceased relative or a good friend, and will try to fool you or manipulate your life. Although some spirit communication is genuine, it is not advisable to become hooked on it. The illusions in the astral world are far greater than in the physical world. The astral is where the ideas are being transmitted to the physical level to influence the minds of the physical inhabitants here. Here on the physical plane, the evil lords of karma, through their so-called laws of cause and effect have caused much pain, suffering, fear and confusion. Karma was never dispensed justly. People are not aware that there is such a thing called astral karma as well as karma in this physical world. Karma is evil. Even in the astral world, one is subjected to the astral laws of karma. Astral beings are forced to reincarnate again and again for reasons that are based upon lies. In the astral, one is forced or coaxed into believing that one has to do this or that in order to rid oneself of astral debts in order to attain liberation from the astral rebirths. If this is true, one has the horrible task of ridding oneself of the unjust karma. It is unjust because, contrary to its claim, karma is not administered fairly. Even though its main claim is that you reap what you sow, this is not always true. Karma is carried out in such a way as to make sure the true beings are always being disadvantaged. There are, however, some loopholes and means of bypassing or modifying karma, but few know of these or are capable of using them. Unless there is some special intervention by those who can avoid karma, astral beings are stuck in the endless and pointless cycle of birth and rebirth. This perpetual cycle forces being to move from the astral to the physical and back again, endlessly. Whether a being is in the physical or in the astral, that being is incurring karmic debts. These debts are impossible to repay under the evil system. Trying to pay off physical and astral debts is like attempting to pay off a perpetual mortgage for the soul. The evil lords of karma extract such high interest that nobody can pay off her debts. As an example, according to the law of karma, it is believed by many that if X assists a disabled person, X could be interfering with that person's karma, hence X would be punished with karmic debt for the interference. On the other hand, if X doesn't assist the disabled person, X could also be blamed for not assisting, and also incur karmic debt. How can X or anyone else know whether to act or not according to another's karma? X cannot know. Karma is a capricious system, it is devoid of justice. Even the purest of heart can and probably will be strapped with infinite karmic debt in this evil creation. Some believe that a spiritual guru on this plane can advance to the point that he or she can wipe off his or her karma in just a few lifetimes. This is absurd. Apart from the rescuers of the light such as the amoebas, nobody leaves this plane except through the loophole and etc. described earlier. In the astral, one soon learns that everything is based on thoughts. Thus, the astral beings can use their thoughts for good or evil. They can delude themselves by creating thought forms which appear to be real and continue to live in that illusion until the bubble breaks or until they become bored and restless. If one does not participate in the activities or programs imposed by the archons of the evil usurper, one will be greatly disadvantaged. The evil ones on earth are usually rewarded by being given favorable roles and important positions which further help program the astral and earth people according to the ways the administrators of the astral world dictate. Those who try to do the right things by the light are given minor roles at best. The less fortunate ones are manipulated and disadvantaged throughout their astral existence. Everyone in the astral is eventually forced in one way or another to reincarnate on the earth plane again. In the astral, there are those who appear to be helpful, loving and genuine. But, most often they are evil deceivers. In reality, the inhabitants of the astral world are very much under the control of the evil astral system. The danger is that it has the appearance of freedom, light and spirituality to keep many temporarily happy. As in this physical world, things are not what they appear to be in the astral also. If ever you should accidentally wander into a lower astral realm where things are really bad, you can move out of it by calling for divine help or by projecting positive thoughts of where you want to be. Be not fearful of the lower astral beings because they feed on your fear. When one dies suddenly, such as in an accident, that person may become a lost soul. If one takes his or her own life, or if one has great desires due to attachment to people or material things, or when one has great anger, jealousy, fear or confusion at the time of death, one can become a lost soul after the physical passing. A lost soul is one who doesn't realize or accept that he or she is dead. He or she hangs around very close to the earth plane. When he or she is stuck in between the earth and astral world, he or she is called a lost soul. However, not every person who commits suicide or dies suddenly is trapped as a lost soul. Why is that? The reason is that karma is evil and capricious. It favors some and abuses others. Such an unjust and horrendous plan can only be the creation of a very sick and very evil God. It is very obvious that the war between good and evil is also being waged in the astral world. The chaos exists in this physical dimension also exists in the astral and to a much higher degree. Although your pain and illness will be gone when you become a citizen of the astral world at physical death, there is still a type of suffering which is quite agonizing for all beings involved. But this is especially true for the true beings. This suffering is a pain of the spirit and it cannot be quenched by any means except through divine healing. Fortunately, in the astral there are some light beings who operate as true healers and teachers to help heal, guide and support the ones who needed assistance. These are under the direction and protection of high spiritual beings of great power and love. They are not placed in the astral by the evil demigod, but have been placed there by the light. This is one aspect of the war between good and evil in the astral world. The halls of learning in the astral world that so many speak highly of, are in reality halls for various mass programming as well as individual programming. In other words, those who enter the halls of learning are brainwashed and programmed. This is also where the evil controllers in the guise of great spirits program the beings on earth. The so-called natural laws that operate in the astral world are actually laws dictated by the archons of the usurping evil god. Those who cooperate with the natural laws of the astral world are rewarded according to the whims of the evil controllers. Those who resist the evil controllers are punished. but most of those being punished are unaware of their punishment due to programming. Often, they are forced into horrible bodies in their next incarnation. However, they will be told or programmed into believing that it is for their highest good that they must incarnate under certain conditions. These will be told that they have more lessons to learn on Earth and that they have a life purpose to fulfill. Some people on Earth parrot this programmed message, and teach others the same lie, that, we have all come to the Earth plane to learn and to enrich our souls by fulfilling our life purposes. There is a saying that this world would be a better place if women were to rule it. This is quite untrue. Take for instance, many of the female politicians who are far worse than their male counterparts, given the same situations. This is mainly due to the fact that more of the demonic consciousnesses are placed in female bodies, far more than in the male bodies. No wonder women are often looked upon with suspicion and scorn, and rightly so in many cases, because often females are used as tools to beguile, to manipulate, to entice and to corrupt the opposite sex. This situation also exists in the astral world. The Anunnaki spirits control the astral world just as they control the physical world. The Anunnaki elite serve the evil lords of karma. They are the beings who play a major role in the administration of karma in the astral world. While it appears that the hierarchy of the heavenly government is run according to the advancement of souls, the truth is that, like karma here, it is never justly meted out as it is falsely proclaimed. Souls are forced or coaxed into reincarnating while they appear to be given the free will to choose to incarnate or to remain in the astral world, the karma operating in the astral world forces souls to reincarnate. The astral inhabitants are programmed to think that they have the choice of selecting their own parents, place, time and culture of birth. This is in appearance only. In truth, they are programmed to think that all is planned for the highest good of the soul. What a big lie! Just like in this physical world, there are also demons in the astral world who give false information about religion and spirituality. There are those in this physical dimension who support and spread the same type of false information to lead people astray and to sidetrack the true searchers. These evil teachers in the astral as well as in the physical dimension are there to trap others with their lies. Thus, it is very difficult to break out of this tightly woven scam unless you do some serious thinking yourself instead of swallowing everything you are being told. Under normal circumstances, no matter what explanations are given for the cause of one's suicide, ultimately suicide occurs because the victim has been influenced or programmed by unseen entities to take her life. Then they are either punished or allowed to escape punishment according to the dictates of the despotic, evil astral controllers. That is why you get different reports about the consequences of suicide from the astral world. Remember one important point: to break the bondage of karma here and in the astral, you should not accept karma. The astral planes are now breaking down and more of the barriers between this world and the astral are thinning out. This makes it easier for the astral beings to mingle and to communicate with the beings on this plane. The viables who are now in the astral world will not be forced to reincarnate because they have already been rescued from the evil wheel of karma. However, they still must wait to be picked up or transported out of this evil dimension. They are basically in a halfway house where they are being healed and readied for their eventual pickup by the light and finally taken home. In this lifetime, some of you will be transformed into the light without being forced to return to the astral because the astral may not be there by the time you make your exit out of here. Instead, you will be on your way home without any stopovers. What a beautiful one-way ticket home. May you be amongst the fortunate ones.